welcome. Feel free to.
Hey.
The first part of the evening, as people are hopping on, is really going to be an experience. Joshua is the store manager here at the Fillmore, live actually from InTheBlack marketplace. So we're going to let everybody have a moment to join us. So more people will be coming in, and Josh is there to really give us a tour, talk about the amazing community programs and shop and whole concept of what's happening and all that InTheBlack is making. And yeah, we're excited to get everybody in to hear more from you, Josh.
Yeah, I couldn't be more excited myself to be able to share this opportunity with y'all. So thank you so much for joining already. And yeah, here at InTheBlack, even right now, we have a lot of our members of the community who have come into store, hang out, chat with us and everything. So we love to kind of operate within that space of being a retail space, but also a community-driven space to, you know, create new opportunities for just feeling welcome, you know, in your own home neighborhood. So really excited to share with y'all today about InTheBlack, as well as, you know, give you a little tour of the space.
Amazing, amazing. We'll wait a couple more minutes as people are coming over to see this part of the evening. So it is a sip and shop. I always want to just let everybody know that we have shared some of the circle information for where you can, of course, check it out anytime. I'll do a quick screen share. So when you are able to access everything here, you can go in and there's a great video where you can watch this incredible shop, and it's about 3 minutes. It was on the news. This is actually before you open, Joshua, so that we definitely recommend taking.
Oh wow.
This we can play for everybody. Would you like us to kick off with that? Maybe give them a little bit of kind of before we even open.
Yeah, I love that idea. Let's do that for sure.
Great. Awesome. Well, as everybody comes in, I'm going to go ahead and play.
It was once the center of Black brilliance, Black achievement in San Francisco. Then in the 60s, it became the focus of urban renewal, essentially bulldozing businesses and shuttering dozens of doors in an area once known as the Harlem of the West.
We feel like our voice wasn't heard as the African-American community being based out of Fillmore for so long. So this is bringing that back.
That is Pia Harris. She's the driving force behind a new marketplace called InTheBlack, and its aim is to sustain and revive Black-owned businesses in the Fillmore district. So I spent some time in the Fillmore talking with two Black entrepreneurs about their soon-to-be new home. The only place to show clothing designs for Siani Jackson is outside the Fillmore Center in San Francisco's Fillmore district. Siani is the founder and owner of Sick Apparel.
So this is one of my latest designs. It's pretty fun. It showcases a lot of my different patches.
And you can see what she does. She makes clothes that represents the proud resiliency of being Black. That resiliency restrained by high rent. So right now, she doesn't have a brick and mortar.
The world is constantly trying to bring us down as a people, and we need to be able to feel proud.
For Siani, that sense of pride comes with just a few steps down the Fillmore. She thinks back to the 1950s and 60s.
There were tons of Black businesses. This used to be the Black Mecca for businesses.
In fact, this neighborhood was known as the Harlem of the West. Now, with these business leaders, there's a plan to revive the Fillmore. Quan Moore is seeing the beginning stages of this marketplace. It's called InTheBlack.
Wow, look at this.
Wow.
This is beautiful.
Wow.
Yes. Okay.
And it will promote wealth building for Black businesses. Quan owns Kwani's African Shop. Her business doesn't have a storefront either, but she's ready to make this her runway.
My pastor gonna be watching now. I can't do too much.
That's the pure joy from Quan. This will house 22 Black entrepreneurs, giving them a chance to build a sustainable business by offering affordable rent. So they'll be splitting the rent. Organizers say rent in this neighborhood range from $6,000 to $15,000 a month. So InTheBlack will be a lifeline.
Words can't even explain. All I know is that God is opening doors and I'm going through.
A door that used to be a check cashing place, taking money from this Black community, that same door will soon be one that will be an economic anchor for Siani and nearly 24 other Black entrepreneurs.
So it's an amazing feeling to be able to kind of come full circle and have my products here, and hope that we can, bring support to all the other Black businesses in the marketplace.
All right, so this will mean so much to people like Siani and Quan. Now, InTheBlack is set to open in December. Jocelyn, I'll send it over to you.
So that was during the pandemic, right? So this is when the shop, and I just want to give a shout out. We've got some people coming in online from Oakland, which is just across the water. So we definitely are excited as people are coming in for the sip and shop portion of the evening. This is where we are getting a firsthand virtual or in real life, depending on which one you're doing this evening, with the manager of InTheBlack. Joshua, I'm going to pass it over to you. We just watched an amazing video, and it was incredible to see the transformation, because it was actually just like framing there. And then how quickly did it turn into, we need to just a look around and a tour, because it is such a big transformation time.
Absolutely. And so the process started actually over the course of 2022. The idea was birthed out of the fact that during the pandemic, so many Black-owned businesses had, were met with a lot of situations where they were not able to continue their business or strengthen it over that time. So when InTheBlack finally opened, during 2022, we really opened up a space that, like you said earlier, used to be just a check cashing place. Like, this was a portion of the neighborhood that took money in but did not bring it back into our neighborhood at all. And so one of the beautiful things, and I'm going to give you a tour here in just a second. You'll see we have a second camera there with my name, which is showing our floor right now. But one of the beautiful things that we did get to do is just, we bring money into our neighborhood, and that money now stays here. And it goes back into supporting, people who live in this neighborhood. So many of we have 2 different employees who live here in the city, and one of them actually lives in the Fillmore as well. So we truly are creating some new opportunities for the Fillmore neighborhood to thrive, So yeah, let me head out to the floor real quick, and I'll give you a brief tour. Hang on one second. I'm gonna switch cameras.
Very cool. And then more people are joining us for the Sip and Shop virtual experience, as well as, you're welcome to stop on by if you are parking right now in the Fillmore to check it out. They are open all evening while we're doing this workshop. And right now, just share with us if you're tuning in, where you're tuning in from. Love to see all the communities that impact and supporting each other is something that is really valued. Oh, this looks amazing. I'm going to let you.
Yeah.
Sure.
So as I'm walking around right now, one of the things that you're first presented with, which is just a message about our business, says we are a creative and entrepreneurial marketplace for Black community empowerment, wealth building, and prosperity. And so that's kind of how we start every day as a team, just reminding ourselves that, the products that we sell here are to give some of our business owners here, such as Freestyle & Co. Over to the left here, we also have Ice Body Skincare, all natural, all made here in California, literally maybe 60 miles from where we are right now, if that, in Brentwood, so very nearby. And as we go through, you'll see there's so many different options here. We have some clothing choices from some of our businesses, such as Audrey, Quan, who you saw in that video. Just a lot of lovely pieces to choose from. And also just something for everyone. That's one of the things we always try to make sure we highlight, is that our products aren't designed exclusively for our community. They are made by our community to be appreciated and enjoyed by everyone. So a little bit of something in the house for everybody. We really would love for you guys to come down, check us out, and to get to continue to share parts of our story with you.
This is so cool. I was just putting in the link to your online marketplace.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
And that is where, of course, you do ship. So yes, they're local. Yes, they support the community. Yes, incredible opportunity to give back and also to get some really artisanal type unique items, which is every time I go in fact, I'm wearing earrings from the last time I went in. These were really great from an artist who created them. So
I love to see it.
Yeah, and I think, what's so nice about it is that you do get to learn about the stories of these entrepreneurs, and you do get to really be affected and in such a positive way, giving back to the community. And we all are shopping for stuff, and I know there's a lot of holidays coming up. There's even like Valentine's and all sorts of excuses to give yourself a little bit of a treat or to share something really special and unique that maybe you give someone else. It could be Galentine. There's so many things coming up. So definitely check out the shop. There's a variety of things, even if you just want to support and get a gift card and decide later what you want. Definitely, we encourage you to do so, because this is a really incredible project that is kind of a model. Can you share with us, Joshua? This is very unique in the entire country of something that came out of the pandemic and the concept. For those who might have just joined, maybe tell us a little bit more about the vision of where this is going and you want it to go now that you guys are open.
Yeah, so one of the core pieces of what we do and was shared in that video is that the rent that we're paying for this space is shared by all the businesses that are in here. And the way that we go about accomplishing that is being able to split that number into a way that it becomes economically feasible for all of these, up and coming business owners to be able to afford. So in our current scenario, all of our business owners are paying around $650 a month, which for any of our people who remember the good old days in San Francisco, $650 could get you a place to stay, So being able to throw back to a price point that really still feels kind of palpable and like achievable as a business owner, especially, leaves them with a lot of room to be able to try ideas out, to experiment with their current business, think on scalability and so on. So a lot of what we're trying to do now with our business owners, now that they've kind of gotten the taste of what that feels like to be like, okay, I need to hit this certain dollar amount. And in order to do that, knowing what the expectations that come with that are, as we look toward 2024, one of our biggest pieces is realizing that everyone is desiring to shop in person again, but we are all learning how to be in person again. And so there's a window, kind of like a piece that, is missing there as people are getting that comfort and that skill back up. And so we're looking to hopefully, transition even what our businesses understand, and look at how to do business online. How do you build a community online of customers, of, fans of your product, to the point where they'll desire to be like, oh, you are at this place now? Well, I desire to be there also. I want to see you in person so I can support you. So a lot of our business owners currently do a lot of pop-ups. We create a lot of opportunities for them to do pop-ups as well. We work with FoodWise and the Ferry Building. We just had an event at the California Academy of Sciences where we've built these different partnerships to be able to create additional ways for our vendors to get feedback from customers, as well as getting having their products exposed really to other portions of the city. Because no matter how we slice or dice it, sometimes we get into our own habits, and we'll go to the same neighborhoods where we do our normal, I have got my coffee shop that I go to every single time I come to the city and so on. So our hope is that as we look towards this year, the biggest changes that we can do is to help our business owners take their personas in real life and translate that into a digital one where their customers can experience them as they would in real life and want to marry those two things.
Oh my gosh, I think that's one of the blessings I'm so excited about us connecting, right? Is being able to realize the value of that, because if we can figure that out, how to take that persona, how to take our passion for what it is that we're doing, what we've created. Obviously, these are very passionate entrepreneurs who believe in their products, who are doing it for a very mission-driven, often reason. And so there's a big story there. And so you're able to, with workshops like this and other opportunities, provide the skills and the tools for these entrepreneurs to just keep leveling up and developing that and getting that next way to expand their business, expand their offerings, but also tap into that social capital, who they are, and how do we convert that social capital in the digital world and create these virtual connections, create these virtual customers, and drive all of that together into some sort of community support. That I love the way you said everybody can be fans of these brands.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the goal. So I'm looking forward to, being able to just share with them. We'll have a few of them joining with us today as well. So hopefully we'll be able to get a couple of, in-person conversations with some of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're looking forward to being able to share this information with our team, with our community in large. So thanks everyone for also making time to, to support this with us.
It's so fun just to have this bird's eye view, like the fly on the wall. I'm glad that you were able to set up that other camera. This is live right now as people are coming in. And what's so cool is the video that we played earlier, you're welcome to watch it on your own. I'm going to just do a quick share so in case you tuned in for the sip and shop portion of the evening, where you can check this out. So this is part of the virtual experience. So of course, not all of us can be in San Francisco in the Fillmore, but that's okay. We have this virtual portal now on SkillVill for InTheBlack shop, and this is where we've put some really cool things up on the board. So whether you are just learning about InTheBlack, there's the video here we played earlier. You can play that at any time. That is really an exciting story of how it all began, and it wasn't that long ago in 2022. I mean, it's incredible how fast this can happen when the community comes together, and it's such an inspiring story, but it's just the beginning. Like now, I think what's really exciting is what you're talking about, this next leveling up, this next pop-ups and workshops, and embracing how these brands can take their persona, use digital tools, use technology to take it to that next level and really build something huge together. There's also a shopping thing here. We put in a task. You don't have to shop. Of course, these are all just recommendations or things we thought you might like to browse virtually. You can click there. I also put the link to the InTheBlack shop in the chat as well to make it a little bit of a shortcut. There's always things there if you're thinking of doing something as a gift or just for yourself. It supports the community, of course. Financially, make sure that the products are moving off those shelves. And then this is a little bit of a history of the Fillmore. So one of the reasons that we were very excited to partner with you and honored that we were able to get on the calendar during February, during Black History Month, is because of this really incredible history that lives here and resides here.
I actually grew up in this community here in the Fillmore. I can vividly remember as a small child going up and down Fillmore Street and seeing delis and seeing record stores and seeing barbershops and so many Black-owned businesses. The Fillmore has always been considered the Harlem of the West.
San Francisco, unfortunately, has a legacy and history of disinvestment, displacement, neglect, and abuse in the Black community. This community is still suffering the effects of that. We owe it collectively as a society to invest in the Black community.
If we want to sustain what we have as well as build up economic wealth in our community, it has to happen through entrepreneurship.
We're not coming from generational wealth where people have taught us how to save and what we need to do.
The city, through the Dreamkeeper initiative, has come out with a whole economic development arena that has resulted in the funding that we're tapping into to create this whole Minding My Own Black Business program. Now they'll have opportunities to spend their dollars in the store and spend it on Black entrepreneurs.
The resources do more than just put money in people's pocket. It provides an opportunity for them to get support and access to information that they otherwise probably wouldn't have gotten access to.
This is the first time that the city has actually given money not just to train folks, but to actually open the business.
So I just can't think of a better opportunity for someone who likes to be on the cutting edge of what's coming to invest of themselves, their resources, their dollars into this particular initiative.
This is really a chance to make sure that Black businesses have a healthy start.
I'm not by myself. We got support. And not only do we have support from you all, but we have support from one another.
This is feel like a new San Francisco right now. The whole era, supporting Black for me has never been at an all-time high.
Don't miss your opportunity to invest in us. Don't miss your opportunity to be a part of us.
You would want to be a part of this.
Write big checks, people, please.
This is our chance.
I'm a resident of the Fillmore. I moved here just in 2019 with my husband. One of the reasons that we were very excited to partner with you and honored that we were able to get on the calendar during February, during Black History Month, is because of this really incredible history that lives here and resides here. I'm a resident of the Fillmore. I moved here just in 2019 with my husband and our Shih Tzu Bernie, who I would show, but he's passed out sleeping next to me. And this is how I found out about InTheBlack. I was walking Bernie down the street and I came across one of Joshua's great sip-in shops and stopped in, and that's how I found out about this. And so it's exciting for us to share and really expose another community of impact, which there's quite a few of them joining us with Google developer groups and some of the other communities who've been invited here today to really showcase you guys and what you're doing there. Oh, great. I see we've got Jarvis, your camera is on. You're welcome to say hello, anybody. We like to hear from you. It's fun for Josh and the people at InTheBlack to see where you guys are coming from. Hey.
Hello.
Hey,
from
Jarvis.
St. Louis.
St. Louis, Missouri. Oh my gosh, Joshua, did you expect that?
I did not. That's wonderful, man. Thank you for joining us today.
Okay, thanks for the invite.
Cool. Thanks, Jarvis. This is so awesome. St. Louis, Missouri. Can you believe that? I mean, I'm telling you, our communities are so much closer than we realize. And it always is nerve-wracking to do something like this. In fact, this is our first one. So thank everyone for running through this beta test run together as we are really playing with different technology and opening doors and making really great connections with awesome people. So if you have anything you want to share, maybe community projects that you're involved with or organizations, feel free to drop that in the side as well. This is, obviously, we are all communities of impact. That's one of the things about Tech2Connect is we are all using technology and other skills and tools to be able to transform it into impact. An impact in our community. So don't be shy if you want to share something that is going on, upcoming, that you're working on, that's making a difference in your community. This is a great moment while we're just sipping and shopping around virtually InTheBlack together. So that is something I invite you to do. As I just take you through the virtual shopping experience, kind of giving you the lay of the land virtually of InTheBlack, besides the tasks, one of the things that we do before our workshop is we kind of put in some prep. So as we get in about 10 minutes getting ready for the workshop, just start to like shut down all those other tabs, distractions. We put in some gifts there we thought would be fun. If you need to take a breath, it's been a long day. This one I thought was a great image that we pulled up. We're going to roll up our sleeves. This is very practical. So what we are doing like this is just like us experimenting with this technology tonight and how we can support this community here in the Fillmore, our community, and this amazing project and all of the entrepreneurs that are a part of this together. it's hands-on. So this is a totally different probably type of workshop than maybe you've experienced other places where it was focused totally on tech or totally on impact and cause. It's a really kind of fun in between. Like, we're going to be doing this by the end of the evening. You're going to have your own plan of action, something you can do within the next 30 days. And we're going to do it together. So hopefully that'll start to set the scene for our workshop. And if you want to say hello, you can answer one of our questions we've got here. Will automatically show up. So if you want to answer your introduction question or share with us who you are, I am your host for the workshop part. Co-host, really, Joshua is hosting us on the Sip and Shop, which we're doing right now. And then a unique skill or passion that you have. Anything that you want to share, it will automatically, when you answer the question, it will show up underneath your profile. So definitely do that. You can answer questions here in the questions tab. And that is all you need to know for what's coming up on the workshop. But while we have Joshua, you there live, can we get some close-ups of some of the product? What is the hottest thing right now in the black? And it's hard to choose, but I think just maybe show some of the ones that maybe are new.
Definitely. Give me a second and I'll walk around and show you guys some of our top items right now. We've got a customer in store who's actually browsing a couple that I really love.
Nice.
As we heard earlier, these are some of the jackets from Sick Apparel from Siani. I'm going to pull one out for you and show you.
I feel a little like QVC, but it is true. The jackets in person, the quality is amazing, and the patches are so cool. Like, to me, this is so the Fillmore. I see people wearing them around, and it's just like, oh, yeah. That is so cool. Any thumbs up? We get any emojis on that one? Yeah, that's
those are products. Is that they're hand patched, like all hand embroidered. So what you're seeing is truly just like it's like a level of skillsmanship and quality that you don't get everywhere. And then, one of the nice things I think about our store right now, especially, is that depending on what you're looking for, we have kind of like the whole outfit. You can come in and shop for it. So that can be something as simple as leggings or, hosiery for an event or something, or the casual jackets, as we mentioned earlier. Give me a second. I'm going to plug my headphones back in. My phone is fell.
So cool. And I am just sharing screen while you're walking around. So what you saw, I opened up the catalog. Let's go to the shop. And I believe the shop you said was Click Apparel. So this is who you can learn about Siani, who you've mentioned, and her story. You can get to her website. You could shop these items. I mean, it's very cool. It's such a fun, easy way to really get to browse. I think this is the one you were just showing us.
Yeah, it is. She has it in a couple of different colorways also. So that desert camo that you're looking at there on the picture, the one I just picked up is considered our like a forest green.
Cool. Yeah, so this is, you can honestly go down the rabbit hole and enjoy shopping by all the brands. And what I love about what you guys did in the online shopping is really being able to learn about each of the brands.
Right. It's not just enough, I think, for us to be able to sell their products. And forgive me, I'm having also a couple of technical difficulties, but I think one of the most important things is that we not only sell their products, but also we introduce people to the brand themselves, and the fact that, like, this person's, the story behind the products that you're looking at can sometimes be as important as the product themselves. Audrey is, B Boutique. She had owned a boutique in Oakland for over 20 years before she also joined at our store. So, a lot of times I feel like people may think that, like, the average Black entrepreneur is just doing a pop-up or it's a short-term window, but there are truly some of our entrepreneurs who have been in business as long as, we've been on computers and everything else. So it's truly it's truly exciting to kind of get to witness that and be able to, share that part of the story with our customers as we go around. So
it's so huge, and some of these I'm just randomly clicking on, but this one, there's a few of these I've seen in the window. You guys do a great job changing the window, so not all of us are able to walk by the window like the locals can.
Right.
Our showstoppers, I mean, every time, these are the earrings I got a little while ago. Every time I wear something or are using it, I feel like I always get a compliment. It's almost like people can sense that it's special, even without saying it. I don't know. That's just been my personal experience, and I'm not like, I don't make commission on anything here. Like, I'm just sharing that as my experience.
I think what's really been great is that also a lot of our customers know the vendors themselves as well. So there is a certain level of like knowing that the dollar you're spending today is staying within that same neighborhood, which makes really a huge difference as you're starting to, especially as we think a little bit more transparently about where our dollars are going to, what, certain corporations are doing with that money as well. We want to make sure that, at the end of the day, that dollar is being spent in a way that aligns with our own personal values. And so I think our store really allows our customers, both online and in person, to make that choice and feel comfortable with that choice, because that at the end of the day, the $20 you spent on, some soaps, or the, $50 you spent on a hoodie or something, automatically that's going to go back into a real business person that you can walk past, possibly have a coffee with if you desire. And they live so nearby. So we love it. We're really happy, and we're hoping to continue in this, this journey of finding, these opportunities that are needed, and finding the different business owners out there who are looking to have their products, in a store, or, really just kind of, again, explore with retail in that kind of fashion. So
I love it. And, it's so fun to see the diversity of the products you're carrying. You even have some InTheBlack products. You guys have your own brand, which is great. As a local here, I love that. And I think what's really, really exciting, as you mentioned, was that, you are in a way, the impact of your dollars. It's helping the neighborhood and the community. And I'm amazed the prices are still really reasonable. This is not a crazy premium. If anything, these are incredible prices at a very affordable, doable, way to support the community. And in a way, that's our ability to really vote with our dollars and say, okay, this is what we care about. Put our money towards.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more there. I think it is so important, as we work with our businesses, we've actually been teaching them the power of a dollar and the power of a price point, and being uniquely positioned where we are, we have so many of our local neighbors who may have already shopped with the business as a pop-up, and then we have people who are coming from the area considered like Upper Fillmore, where they may have already dropped $60, $30, $40, $100 on a t-shirt or something. Yeah. So teaching them that, you can have a price, you can have certain items that kind of match what everyone's needs are. And that dollar amount not necessarily being only, being so low that it just like makes it seem really easy to purchase, or so high that it becomes out of, context. So that has been another part of kind of the, some of the trainings and the different seminars that we provide our vendors with.
As we're getting ready to shift into the workshop portion, which is part of those trainings that you're talking about, one of the big missions of InTheBlack is to provide the skills, to be a community place, a gathering space. It's not just for selling. The concept of the marketplace being where we meet, we congregate, we support the community, we learn from each other in the community, and that's how we level up all of us together. And that's something that really resonated with us at SkillVill, we're all about leveling up in skills and the power of community to do that amongst ourselves. I mean, a lot of this is just, we don't have to spend extra money to do it. It's being very conscientious and aware and purpose driven. So when we do it, we know what our goals are, what we want to do, and what we are hoping to get out of it together. And that's just a frame shift almost, you know? So Joshua, was that part of the forward look, the goals of the store beyond the products? You know, how do we get the frame shifts of the entrepreneurs?
Exactly. That is absolutely the next kind of phase for us, because I tell the vendors very often when we come in and we have meetings, you know, the easiest part of what you've done so far was getting into the store. You know, there are always some barriers and hoops to go through, but in truth, creating a product, you know, that part up until that point takes, you know, panache and money, right? But longevity in your business, scalability in your business, understanding enough about, you know, your vision and identity for it, is what's really going to take you into that 2nd to 5th year to 10th year and so on. So we really are doubling down this year and partnering with groups like SkillVill, especially, so that we're able to hopefully create further knowledge points and opportunities and access to knowledge for our business owners, but also educate and then train them on how to do that themselves, so that they can hopefully also, you know, take that knowledge and really share it with the next person. Because truthfully, that is how we start to change some of the narratives that are shared about these neighborhoods. It's just through additional knowledge and free knowledge shared kind of across the board. So
I love that. Definitely, as people are coming in for the workshop, we're going to start in just a minute. And Joshua, what you have shared with us, the amazing tour, the transformation, seeing it from when CBS covered it on the news during the pandemic, and in less than or about a year, what it is today. Congratulations, you and the team.
Thank you so much.
I mean, this is a huge effort. Why don't you share some of the foundations and partners that made this possible? It's definitely a presentation of community coming together.
Yeah, we wouldn't be anywhere without our partners. And to start that, you know, we work with the San Francisco Housing Development Corporation. They're our parent company, and they have been influential in truly giving us the team, as well as the knowledge needed to really keep this program afloat. And beyond that, we also work with Dream Keepers Initiative, the Human Rights Commission, as well as the Office of Economic Workforce Development. So it's always a huge thanks to them who support us in finding opportunities, be it through grant funding, be it through getting access to opportunities such as events that we've done, or also being able to leverage the different members of their teams, so that we can either gain the knowledge or get the door open, so that we can find some of those other opportunities, because that is truly also how this happens. It is through the who you knows and the who supports you of the world that we're able to sometimes move the ship forward. So, but a huge thank you to all of our partners.
Yeah, it's an amazing, impressive group. It's growing, of course, like anything. It's like once you get that first partner, it feels like gravity starts to happen and all the other partners start coming on board. So, one of the reasons we wanted to showcase this before the workshop is this is an example. It could be done. This has been done in a year and a half, during a pandemic. So just know that this is hopefully a model that may inspire or give you ideas for your communities of impact and how you might want to implement. We're sharing all of this knowledge, which is something that is very important to us, for everybody to bring their skills, their superpowers, their experiences, and share it. Because you said it, Joshua, it's all about paying it forward and teaching that to the next person. And the more we could connect as people, it's one thing to read it and say, okay, this is how you do this on paper. It's another thing when you actually sit down to do it. And so that's why we want to do the workshop just a little more like how it's really done. it's people.
Truthfully, yeah, it's so important to get to connect with humans when it comes to this part too, because there are so many moments that can be really like major roadblocks in the process of opening a business or trying to just stay encouraged with your own current. So being able to have a team or have a community of business owners around you who you've heard from, who have also hit these same different roadblocks and everything, it means the world. So I'm going to add my my Calendly link to this call.
Yes.
So if anyone wants to talk any more, feel free to reach out.
Fantastic, and thank you. We're going to switch into workshop mode. I'm putting the link here so that everyone, as you hop in, this is the direct link. If this is your first time coming into the virtual circle, you can join, and you join by clicking here. If it shows like this, that means you're already a member. You're in. So we have about 36 members. This is our very first beta of this. So thank you for joining us. This is a big experiment. We are just overwhelmed with the interest and support. And we're going to get into the workshop portion of this evening. Now that we've been inspired by all these entrepreneurs, it's time to roll up our sleeves. So go to, once you've logged in, you can now move any of the videos or things that you no longer want to look at. You can move it to working or done. And what it's doing is it's actually moving it down a Kanban board. And this is something we wanted to demonstrate because part of getting things done in a short period of time is being productive. So this is an area that we are encouraging everybody as we start with the workshop. We're just going to take it a few steps at a time. And by the end of this workshop, what we are going to have is something that we can implement either in our own business in the next 30 days to make a difference for our business, or for our communities, or to make a difference in others' lives. So depending on your goals and purpose right now, we had a lot of New Year's resolutions. Feel free to share if some of the things you want to do this evening or what you're thinking about is for your business. Feel free to share that in the chat. Is it for maybe a purpose, something that you're really passionate about, you want to share your skills with the world, or is it perhaps something that you want to be able to support? So like a community cause or project like InTheBlack. So it's just nice to hear from you guys what your focuses or priorities are right now as we go along. So feel free to share that. And as we go in, let's get everything clear off. This is just a few minutes. Take that moment, turn off those notifications. Let's clear our tabs of distractions. We've all had long days. We know this is just in addition to whatever else that we are working on. So give a moment to really prepare, because this is hands-on. So right now you've been doing listening and shopping and relaxing and getting inspired, but this is actually going to be you answering questions and sharing things together. So ready to roll up our sleeves. And now I'm going to move this into done. So that we are now clear board and we are going to get started. So the first thing is I'm going to go in here and assign our first packet for our workshop. So let me get everybody here going. Okay, we've got our feature and I'm going to assign the workshop. All right, so you are in, and now we're going to go to the question section. And the first question is going to be something we are going to answer together. Before we do that, what we are going to do is introduce ourselves.